Have you ever wondered about the possibility of a third world war? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? But in today's complex global landscape, it's a question that unfortunately needs to be asked. Recent conflicts and rising geopolitical tensions have certainly added fuel to this grim speculation. Reports from the United Nations and results of international security studies paint a stark picture. They highlight an unsettling surge in global tensions, and the evolving nature of warfare doesn't make the situation any less daunting. Modern warfare has moved beyond traditional battlegrounds. Now it's a game of advanced technology, cyber warfare, and yes, the looming threat of nuclear weapons. The destructive potential of these nuclear arsenals is beyond imagination. It's enough to wipe out civilizations, to turn thriving cities into ghost towns. This makes the possibility of a third world war a matter of grave concern. The idea of a third world war is indeed sobering, but how likely is it? The question on everyone's mind is, how likely is a third world war? To answer this, let's delve into the insights of various experts and research studies. Leading international relations scholars suggest that the probability of a large-scale global conflict is influenced by a complex web of factors. These include international politics, economic crises, and resource scarcity. For instance, escalating tensions between superpowers could potentially trigger a chain of events leading to a world war. Similarly, a severe global economic crisis could foster an environment conducive to conflict, as nations may resort to drastic measures in a bid to secure their interests. Resource scarcity, particularly water and energy, is another key factor that could ignite global conflict. As these resources become increasingly scarce, competition for them could intensify, leading to potential flashpoints. It's also worth noting the predictions of respected think tanks. These organizations often use sophisticated models to estimate the likelihood of a third world war. Their conclusions vary widely, but most agree that while the probability isn't negligible, it's far from certain. So, to put it bluntly, the possibility of a third world war is a complex issue, influenced by a multitude of factors and variables. It's a topic of intense study and debate among experts worldwide. As we can see, the probability is not zero, but it's not a foregone conclusion either. But what if the unthinkable happens? What should the average person do in the event of a third world war? As daunting as the prospect may be, it's crucial to have a plan. Disaster preparedness organizations and survival experts recommend understanding civil defense procedures as a first step. These might include knowing where your nearest fallout shelter is or understanding evacuation protocols. Next, formulate a disaster plan. This should cover possible scenarios like an evacuation. Where would you go? What route would you take? Who would you contact? Make sure every member of your family understands this plan too. Now let's talk essentials. A well-stocked supply of food, water, and medical supplies can make all the difference in a crisis. Aim for a 3-week supply, and remember to consider special dietary needs and prescriptions. A hand crank radio can keep you informed even when the power's out. And don't forget personal documents. Having copies of passports, birth certificates, and insurance policies can streamline recovery after the disaster. Lastly, equip yourself with knowledge. Learn basic first aid, how to purify water, how to start a fire. These skills, while hopefully never needed, could prove invaluable in a survival situation. While the prospect of a third world war is daunting, it's always better to be informed and prepared than caught off guard.